So based on all of that, just to kind of give you a little bit of an exercise, just wanted to show you some of the different test forms that are out there. Some of the things that testers see at times, depending on what area, what administrative authority they're working for, all those kinds of things that are out there. As we mentioned, we provide templates. There are templates out there to help the administrative authority develop a test form. As we mentioned, the manual has a template that administrative authority has. What they'll do is they'll take this template and then add the different things that they need for their application. As simple as putting a letterhead could be all that's needed. At times, some of the things that we just talked about, they may ask for different information. They may ask the tester to do different things. So again, just realize there are templates out there to help the administrative authority develop their test form, okay? And yeah, it is difficult because as a tester, depending on the administrative authority, they may require different things. You have your basic information, and then you have all the other additional stuff that's out there, okay? Another source for a template for a test form is the EPA Cross-Connection Control Manual. You can get this online. When you get this manual, you'll see in the appendix, it shows the administrative authority, hey, here's a sample test form of how to develop a test form for your area and your system. This is an older document because you'll notice that it mentions PVB but doesn't mention SVB. So this was developed, this document was developed before the SVB came into play. So that's why you may see that. So different things that are out there for the templates, okay? Again, depending on the application of the test form, you may have some that are more simplified. For example, if you're going through your certification through either ABPA or AW or any of the certification agencies, they may have a simpler test form that you need to fill out just for certification purposes. So if you're doing your performance exam, you may have a simplified form like in ABPA where it's basically, a specific form for each assembly. So like for the double check, specifies the 2 points that you need to put in, the comments and the test results. Simple as that. Same thing for the RP. So this is an example of an ABPA form for certification. Another one is like AWWA Cal Nevada. Again, very simplified form where you just need to fill out the information on that particular assembly that you are testing. Okay, so those are the kind of things that are there. Okay. However, as a tester, if you're testing at an administrative authorities, you have different levels of education that are out there. Some administrative authorities will provide a sample form to show you what they're looking for. So they'll have this sample form. They'll say, hey, this is what you need to fill out. The different boxes that you need to fill out. All those kinds of things are mentioned to help the tester understand that in our area, as the administrative authority, you're going to get a test form that looks like this, and this is the things that we need you to fill out. So there are some areas that have an example, a sample form, so that you can reference that as a tester is filling out their form, okay? There are others that provide detailed instructions. So you can see this form where literally there are 50 boxes that a tester has to fill out, depending on what they're testing and so forth. So you can see the instructions on this one says, okay, we're going to give you very detailed instructions on what we need. So there are some areas where they say, okay, here are the instructions for box number 1, which is on this form. This is what you need to fill out. Okay, for box number 2, for box, and it goes through all the different things that you may need to fill out. Okay, so you can see some of them may be pre-filled out, so you don't need to fill out anything. Some others, yes, you as a tester will need to fill that out. Okay, and then there are some details as to what you need to put in. So for each of the boxes, it'll mention what you need to put in, what kind of things you as a tester need to fill out on this form. So there are very detailed instructions for every box that's there as to what you need to fill out. Some boxes, there are pre-printed, so you don't have to worry about, all those kinds of things. So there are very, very detailed instructions out there with some of the different administrative authorities. Okay, so just realize those are the kind of things that a tester may encounter depending on the area they're testing and so forth. Okay. So just to show you some examples, all the way from very simple to pretty complex forms that are out there. This is a form that is from a water district here in Southern California. And you can see that because there's a water district, they're generally working with service protection. So normally working with things like a double check or an RP. So you don't see too much any reference to a pressure vacuum breaker. Okay. The interesting thing with this one, it's pretty simple in that, it's got a date, information on the site and so forth, the information about the assembly and testing, serial number, the account number, and then the test results that they get, any repairs that are done, and any final tests, and then really the signature. So pretty simple type of form. So at times you may see that from some of the administrative authorities. Okay. As opposed to this form is from a water purveyor in South Carolina. And you can see they require a little bit more information. So it's a little more detail where it talks about, the information for as a certified tester, but also the information on the assembly. You can see they ask for other information like what is the application for this particular assembly, what's it going to? Maybe the water meter number, if it's service protection, because this is a water district, and maybe the account number. So you can see different things that are required as part of this test form. You have any comments, test results that you have, and you can see even at the bottom, it mentions the fact that you put your signature. Also, it mentions things like method of testing. So, which test procedures that you use, all that kind of stuff. Test kit information is also required as part of this. And you can see that this is an older form because one of the things that's mentioned at the bottom is you can fax the form over, which is, not used very much, but there are still some areas that do allow fax to come in. So just realize those are the kind of things that you may see out there. Okay. This is a form that is a form that's from one of the water districts in Kansas City. And you can see, again, basic form about the assembly itself. But the key thing that you'll see is that you'll see also a mention here about, the assembly itself. Is it an existing? Is it a new? Has it been removed? Is it been replaced? So that kind of information is also required in this test form. Tester also has to identify type of service. Is it a commercial, industrial, a residential, a construction site, all those kinds of things. Also the application of this service. Is it, for example, a domestic feed? Is it a irrigation feed? Is it a fire feed? Okay, so those are the kind of things that are mentioned. We mentioned the air gap. So you can see as part of the RP, they ask, if there is a catch funnel, the air gap system underneath the relief valve, is it acceptable or not? So those are the kind of things they ask you to fill out. So a lot of information there, okay? Also has a note that if repairs are needed, make sure that the administrative authority is notified within 3 days of any repairs that are done, okay? You can see also it asks the tester to identify if the installation is proper. Also asks if the relief valve is exercised, okay? One of the things we mentioned earlier is to try to get that relief valve opening point the first time it opens, not after it's exercised. Sometimes, accidentally, the relief valve could be exercised. So the administrative authority wants to know that. Okay, was that relief valve exercised? Some other areas have said, hey, an exercising of the relief valve could be a repair. We don't consider it a repair, but some areas do. So they may want to know that, okay? They may want to know the condition of the number 2 shutoff valve. Was it closed upon arrival or not? So they want to know that. Or did you restore the service? Okay, so those are the kind of things that you mark off. They also ask, for example, for the line pressure, the meter reading, okay, and then the results of the test results that you get. Did the assembly pass or fail? So those are the kind of things that you'll see, in some of the forms. So this is one from Kansas.